What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown for UFC Fight Island 4, Holm versus Irene Aldana. And, going to be talking about these fights strictly from a betting perspective, not going to go into much breakdown as always. If you guys do want to, why I'm picking which fighter and all that, I did post a breakdown on Wednesday, and I also posted a live stream on Friday. So go check that out if you do want to know why I'm picking who. But I'm going to be talking about the 3 bets I have, and also some potential bets I'm looking at, and the best bet for each fight here. So before we get started, if you guys can leave a like, subscribe if you are not subscribed yet. Would really appreciate that a ton. About 180 subscribers away from 7,000. Would love to get that by UFC 254. But with that said, we're going to get into the video here. And make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram is DFS by the Numbers. I'll be posting all my action on there. And I'll give out 3 bets right now, but I might add another bet. So Luigi Van Romini versus Justin Ari. Tough fight to call because just due to all the question marks, I'm not going to place a bet on this fight. Van Romini is someone who, he's dangerous. He has a 100% finish rate. He's very good on the mat. He is a black belt in BJJ. It's just, is he going to be able to get it there? If not, it could be a very boring Ari decision. Ari is very low output. I don't know. I think the more path to victory here is Van Romini just by doing more. I mean, Ari is very, very low volume. Van Romini, kind of low volume himself, but if he can get this fight to the mat, he has a real chance to find a submission. I guess the way I'd look would be maybe Van Romini as an underdog, or Van Romini by submission is plus 580. But other than that, it's probably going to be a pass for me. Just too many question marks in this fight on the first fight of the night of this card. Casey Kenny versus Halle Alatang, and I have Casey Kenny in a parlay here. I got him at minus 300, minus 325 now, which is not bad. I really do like Casey Kenny. Alatang's a decent fighter. It's just Casey Kenny's pretty much better everywhere the fight goes outside of the power advantage of Alatang. I think Casey Kenny's better everywhere. So give me Kenny here. I think he can either take this fight down to the mat himself. If he does get taken down, that's fine. He's very good on the mat. He's been able to compete with guys like Bermudez, Ray Borg. I know he was taken down 12 times by Merab Dvalishvili, but Alatang's no Merab Dvalishvili by any means. I think he's fine on the feet. Alatang hits hard. It's just he doesn't throw much at all. I mean, he got outlanded a ton by Denat Baccarel. Casey Kenny is way better than Baccarel. He's way better than Ryan Benoit. I like Kenny a lot in this fight, and I like him as my first parlay piece. Casey Kenny by decision is not bad, plus 100. But I actually think there's a solid chance Casey Kenny could get this done inside the distance here, so I wouldn't really touch any of that. Luma Lukebumi versus Jinyu Fry. I have Luma Lukebumi. A play 1.5 units at minus 130. It's just she's going to be throwing a lot more volume. Fry has very, very low volume. I don't think Fry is all that impressive to me. She's been knocked out twice. She's been submitted once. I don't think she has to worry about that here. Fry looked really good against Kay Hansen in the first round. I think people are taking that into account a little bit too much because Kay Hansen's not a great striker. I mean, she wants to get on the mat, and she did, and she submitted Fry. Lukebumi is going to be 11 years younger. She's going to throw like double the volume, maybe triple the volume, and I just see her getting probably a close decision win. If Fry's able to control Lukebumi up against the cage, yeah, that's the path to victory. I just think, I don't know, I just don't see it happening. So give me Lukebumi to win this by a decision here. Lukebumi by decision is plus 115. I don't hate that. Jordan Williams versus Nasser Imov. I have a shot on Imov at plus 115. The line is coming down a little bit now, but I think he's still plus money. And I just think he's the better fighter. He's the more technical fighter. He doesn't throw much volume, but he picks his shots very well. When he does land, he lands pretty hard. 88% finish rate. And Williams is someone who, he's very high volume. He just leaves a lot of openings. He's not the most technical striker. He could put on kind of a clinic here with the volume and ended up getting caught at some point, and that's kind of where I'm leaning here. I do think Imov is going to knock him out at some point. Imov by KO is plus 360. Imov inside the distance is plus 230. I don't hate that whatsoever. Williams has been finished twice by strikes, and one of those was due to a cut, but he was knocked out by Dwight Grant. And I'm just really high on Imov. I think he gets it done. I'm not really going to mess around with the inside the distance. I do like that plus 115 line I got. I have 1 unit on that. And then Charles Jourdain versus Joshua Culibao. And this is my parlay here. I have Casey Kenny and Charles Jourdain. Got it at minus 150, and I have 1.5 units on that. I'm pretty confident in that parlay. And Jourdain is just a kind of a mismatch here. He's going to be better editing where the fight goes. How you usually beat Jourdain is getting him to the mat. You don't want to strike with this guy. I don't really see Kula doing that. Maybe he can try, but even then, I think Jourdain will be fine if it does hit the mat. And Jourdain is very technical. He's going to be the more technical striker in this fight. He's going to be the more dangerous fighter in this fight. 100% finish rate, 70% by knockout. He is very dangerous. He almost beat Andre Fili, ended up hurting him in the first round. Fili is legit, though. Kula is definitely no Fili, and Fili was able to take him down 5 times, get that decision win there in a close fight that a lot of people were writing off Jourdain, and a lot of people have been writing off Jourdain, so far in his career against Doo Ho Choi. He was like a big underdog, and I think I was one of the only people on Jourdain at that time. And now we see him at minus 450, which it could be a little wide, but I do think this is a mismatch, and I do think he gets a finish here. Jourdain by KO, minus 115, don't hate it. Jourdain inside the distance, minus 160, again, don't hate it. I think you're getting a lot of value there. Mcgee versus Carlos Conant, a very tough fight to call. It's mostly because both these guys are combined 1-9 in the last 10 fights. I'm going Mcgee here just due to the fact that the path to victory is there, and that is to get Conant down. Conant has like a 30% takedown defense. If Mcgee comes out here and fights smart, I think I'll get the decision win here. But if he wants to come out here and strike with Conant, I think it could be a little bit closer. But I'm going to go with Mcgee. The path to victory is written on the wall. Plus 115, Mcgee by decision is probably where I'd look, but I couldn't put my money on this fight. Kyler Phillips versus Cameron Else. Phillips is a big favorite, minus 470. I guess what I was looking at is the under 1.5 in this fight, but probably not going to pull the trigger on that. Else is in 13 of Else's 14 fights. The under 1.5 is hit every time besides one, and that one time he did go to decision and lose that. And, Phillips is going to be the much better fighter here, but Else is dangerous in that first round. So it kind of feels like a minner. Like Else feels like a minner right now. Like if he's going to win, it's going to be in those first couple minutes. Kind of like the TJ Laramie and Derek Minner fight. I could see something like that happening. But other than that, Phillips pretty much has this in the bag. He's going to be the much better fighter everywhere. On the ground, he's better. On the feet, he's much better. He throws a ton of volume. He's dangerous himself. And I think he gets Else out of there. Don't know when, but I think Phillips inside the distance is not a bad look, minus 175. I think there's a lot of value on that line there. Else has been finished 3 times in his 4 losses, and Phillips does have a 71% finish rate. So give me Phillips here, probably inside the distance. Am I going to bet it? Probably not, but I don't hate the minus 175 there. Dusko Tudorovich versus the Quan Townsend, and minus 340 is getting a little crazy here for Dusko, someone who we haven't seen in the UFC yet. Of course, we saw him on the Contender Series and fought a good game plan. He'll probably have to fight about the same game plan he did on the Contender Series as he did here, and that is holding up to Quan Townsend on the cage. And if he does that and he takes him down and he grinds him, if he makes this a boring fight, he'll look minus 340. But if he tries to strike with the Quan Townsend, that's giving Townsend the only path to victory he needs, and that's to find probably a knockout. Townsend's very low volume, but is, say what you want about him, but he is very, very durable. 81% finish rate for Townsend. Dusko does leave a lot of openings. He backs up with his hands down. And Townsend, I guess he's live for a knockout, but if Dusko fights smart, he should most definitely get this done. So give me Dusko. Probably by decision, plus 155. It's not good enough for me. I'm just going to stay away from this fight as a whole. Jermaine De Duranami versus Juliana Pena. And I liked GDR here, but I liked her more at the plus 100 range. She's now minus 150, so I'm not going to bet that. Pena definitely has a path to victory. That is getting a takedown. That is holding GDR up against the cage. And it could happen. And that takedown very well could happen. We've seen GDR taken down before. Of course, she was taken down like 8 times in her last fight. But that was against Amanda Nunes. So we got to kind of throw that out the window. But still, the path to victory for Pena is there. So anybody taking a shot on Pena at underdog money, I don't hate it. I think this is going to be a very close fight. A lot of people are very confident on either side. It's really hard to beat for me. So this is going to be a pass. If anything, maybe fight goes to decision is like minus 170. I don't hate that. Other than that, not interested on this fight as a whole. Jorgen De Castro versus Carlos Felipe, the co-main event, and I cannot believe that this is the co-main event. But De Castro, minus 240, so the line is coming down a lot. A lot of people are on Carlos Felipe, it looks like, and I can kind of understand why. It's just I personally wouldn't put my money on the dude. De Castro is going to be the better fighter here, and it's really not even close. It's just the low output really concerns me. If he does not find that knockout shot in the first round, what is the fight going to look like going forward? I think it's going to be one of those really sloppy, ugly, sweaty heavyweight fights that don't do much. And I can't believe this is the co-main event, but I'm going to pass here. If the line got it a little bit close, if the line got to like minus 190, minus 200 on De Castro, I'd probably take a shot. But I think the smart move here is to pass. De Castro by knockout is plus 110. That line seems way too good to be true, because I most definitely can see this going to a decision here. Both guys are very, very tough. Felipe's never been finished. Neither has Castro. Both guys have some chins on them, and it should be an interesting fight, especially if Felipe comes in there talking crap like he does. Maybe it'll make De Castro mad, but maybe force him to throw a little bit more volume. But I just have a bad feeling that this is going to be a very boring fight. Holm versus Irene Aldana. Again, a fight that a lot of people seem to be confident on. Holm, I see a ton of action on Holm, and I personally could not put my money on this fight here. This is definitely a stay-away fight for me. Holm, most definitely could win. She most definitely can hold up Aldana against the cage, but when it's that range, you got to favor Aldana just to throwing a ton more volume. I do think she's, slightly the better striker at this point of their career. Holm is 38 years old, almost 39, so we are going to see that decline very soon, and I think we've already seen a little bit of that decline. This is not the same Holm as a couple of years ago, so I'm going to take a shot on Aldana. I'm not going to bet it. I see a little bit of money is coming back in on Aldana. I don't hate an underdog shot on Aldana. I don't necessarily see Aldana getting a knockout. Holm has been knocked out once by Amanda Nunes. No shame in that. But this probably goes to decision. It's probably really boring, especially if Holm wins. It's going to be very boring. She's going to hold Aldana up against the cage. But if Aldana is able to reverse position, keep it at range, Aldana is extremely live in this fight. 38 years old, Holm, almost 39. Crazy. So that's about it for me. Just quickly recap my bets. Luma Lukbumi minus 130, 1.5 units on it. Casey Kenny and Jordan Parlay minus 150, 1.5 units on it. And Nasser Imov plus 115, 1 unit on that. And then I'm maybe looking at one more play. So make sure you guys follow me on social media for that. With that said, please leave a like, subscribe if you have not yet. Would appreciate that a ton. If you have any bets, good luck. This is not the best card to go all in. Have some bankroll management today. This card is... It's not great. So I'm looking forward to next week already. And good luck, guys.